On the morning of September 11, 2001, the world witnessed an unprecedented act of terrorism that would forever alter the course of history. The attacks, orchestrated by the extremist group al-Qaeda, targeted key symbols of American strength and resilience. The events of that day resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 people and left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the nation and the world. The attacks began with the hijacking of 4 commercial airplanes by 19 terrorists. 2 planes struck the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, while a 3rd plane crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The 4th plane, United Airlines Flight 93, was headed towards a target in Washington, D.C., but crashed into a field in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to overpower the hijackers. The Twin Towers, iconic symbols of New York City's skyline, collapsed within hours of being struck, creating a scene of chaos and devastation. The events of September 11, 2001, compelled the United States and the world to confront the stark reality of global terrorism. At 8:46 a.m. on September 11th, American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The impact created a massive explosion that sent a fireball through several floors, trapping hundreds of people above the point of impact. The initial shock was compounded when, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 collided with the South Tower, causing another ferocious explosion. At 9:59 a.m., just 56 minutes after being struck, the South Tower collapsed in a massive cloud of dust and debris. The collapse sent shockwaves through lower Manhattan, causing widespread panic and confusion. The collapse of the North Tower followed at 10:28 a.m., approximately 1 hour and 42 minutes after the initial impact. The destruction of the towers resulted in the deaths of thousands of people, including office workers, emergency responders, and passengers on the hijacked planes. The scene at Ground Zero, as the site of the former World Trade Center came to be known, was one of utter devastation. The images of the planes hitting the towers and the subsequent collapse were broadcast live around the world, leaving an indelible mark on all who witnessed them. The immediate impact of the 9/11's attacks on the United States was profound and far-reaching. In the hours and days following the attacks, the nation grappled with the scale of the tragedy and the urgent need for a response. President George W. Bush addressed the nation on the evening of September 11th, condemning the attacks and vowing to bring those responsible to justice. The following days saw a flurry of activity as federal, state, and local authorities coordinated efforts to secure the country and prevent further attacks. Airports were shut down, and heightened security measures were implemented nationwide. The destruction of the World Trade Center, a hub of global finance, disrupted financial markets and led to substantial economic losses. The stock market remained closed for several days, and when it reopened, it experienced one of its largest single-day losses in history. In the wake of the attacks, Americans came together in an extraordinary display of unity and resilience. Vigils and memorials were held across the country, and people from all walks of life contributed to relief efforts. The sense of national solidarity was palpable as the country sought to heal and rebuild in the face of unimaginable loss. The 9/11's attacks had far-reaching global repercussions, reshaping international relations and prompting a re-evaluation of global security strategies. The attacks underscored the threat posed by extremist groups and highlighted the need for international cooperation in combating terrorism. In the aftermath, the United States sought to forge alliances and strengthen ties with other nations to address the emerging security challenges. The attacks led to the launch of the War on Terror, a global campaign aimed at dismantling terrorist networks and preventing future attacks. In October 2001, the United States, with the support of its allies, initiated Operation Enduring Freedom, targeting al-Qaeda and the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. The operation marked the beginning of a prolonged military engagement in the region, with significant implications for global geopolitics. Countries around the world implemented stricter security measures, particularly in the areas of aviation and border control. The global response to 9/11 underscored the interconnectedness of the modern world and the need for a collective approach to addressing security threats. One of the most enduring images of September 11th is the heroism displayed by first responders who rushed to the scene to save lives. Firefighters, police officers, emergency medical technicians, and other rescue workers demonstrated extraordinary courage and selflessness in the face of overwhelming danger. Many first responders entered the burning towers, climbing countless flights of stairs to reach those in need. Their efforts were instrumental in evacuating thousands of people from the buildings before they collapsed. Tragically, 343 firefighters and 72 law enforcement officers lost their lives in the line of duty, making the ultimate sacrifice in their mission to save others. The heroism of first responders extended beyond the immediate rescue efforts. In the days and weeks following the attacks, they continued to work tirelessly at Ground Zero, searching for survivors and recovering the remains of the victims. The legacy of the first responders' bravery is honored through various memorials and tributes. In the immediate aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, rescue efforts at Ground Zero were both urgent and perilous. Rescue workers faced a daunting and hazardous environment, with unstable debris, fires, and toxic dust creating significant challenges. Despite these dangers, the determination to find survivors and recover the remains of the victims drove the rescue operations. The initial focus of the rescue efforts was on locating and extracting survivors who may have been trapped beneath the rubble. Search and rescue teams, including specially trained dogs, scoured the site for signs of life. The complexity and scale of the debris field made the search painstakingly slow and dangerous. Nonetheless, the tireless efforts of the rescue workers led to the successful recovery of several individuals in the first days after the attack. As the days turned into weeks, the focus shifted from rescue to recovery. The process of removing debris and recovering the remains of the victims was a monumental task that involved thousands of workers and volunteers. The operation continued around the clock, with teams working in shifts to ensure continuous progress. The collaborative spirit of the rescue and recovery efforts extended beyond the professional responders. The 9/11's Memorial and Museum, located at the site of the former World Trade Center, serves as a poignant tribute to the victims of the 9/11 attacks and the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. The memorial, which opened on September 11, 2011, features two reflecting pools set within the footprints of the Twin Towers. The names of the nearly 3,000 victims are inscribed on bronze panels surrounding the pools, providing a space for reflection and remembrance. The museum, which opened in May 2014, offers a comprehensive and immersive experience, chronicling the events of 9/11 and their aftermath. It features a wide range of artifacts, photographs, and multimedia displays that document the attacks, the heroic response, and the global impact of 9/11. Visitors can explore personal stories of loss, resilience, and hope, gaining a deeper understanding of the human dimension of the tragedy. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum plays a vital role in preserving the memory of those who perished and educating future generations about the significance of 9/11. The design and construction of the memorial and museum were guided by a commitment to honor the victims and create a space for healing. Each year on September 11th, the nation comes together to honor and remember the victims of the 9/11 attacks through various commemorative events. The annual ceremony at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum is a central part of these observances. Family members of the victims gather at the Memorial Plaza to read aloud the names of their loved ones, ensuring that their memories live on. The ceremony includes 6 moments of silence marking significant times during the attacks. These moments of silence provide an opportunity for collective reflection and remembrance, allowing the nation to pause and honor the lives lost and the heroism displayed on that day. The ceremony is attended by dignitaries, first responders, and members of the public, all united in their commitment to remember and honor the victims. In addition to the official ceremony, communities across the country hold their own memorial events, including candlelight vigils, prayer services, and moments of silence. Educational initiatives also play a crucial role in ensuring that the legacy of 9/11 is preserved. The legacy of 9/11 continues to shape the United States and the world in profound ways. The events of that day highlighted the vulnerabilities and strengths of a nation, prompting significant changes in security, policy, and international relations. The heroism and resilience displayed in the face of tragedy serve as enduring reminders of the capacity for courage and unity. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum, along with annual commemorations, ensures that the memory of the victims and the sacrifices of first responders are honored and preserved. These efforts provide a space for reflection, healing, and education, fostering a deeper understanding of the impact of 9/11s. The world is reminded of the importance of vigilance, cooperation, and compassion in the face of global challenges. The lessons learned from 9/11s continue to inform efforts to combat terrorism and promote peace and security. As we remember 9/11s, we honor the lives lost, the bravery of the first responders, and the resilience of a nation.